Hello and thank you for joining us today. I'm Brenden Mincheff. This week, a powerful EF3 tornado struck downtown Nashville.
I'm Yekta Eskandari. The MSU Denver Student Government Assembly is holding their own presidential election.
And I'm Geoffery Worcester. This Saturday, spring-like conditions are finally here.
And live from Aurora campus, it's the Met Report.
A 23-year-old Thornton mom is counting on the support of her community to beat a rare form of cancer. Our reporter, Yosla Miranda, has a story.
What I fear the most is leaving my daughter without anybody and her thinking that I left her.
Leslie Torres loves to spend time with her daughter, but she knows that one day she might not be able to anymore. This due to a small lump in her stomach that was only growing day by day. And after many visits to the hospital, the doctors had an answer.
A bunch of doctors came in, it wasn't just one, and they told me that I had masses and I didn't know what masses were, so I told them to be a little more clear, and that's when they told me that I had cancer.
It's been over 4 years since Leslie's had cancer. There are many things that affect her everyday life, such as not being able to eat, not being able to work out, and most important, not being able to play with or carry her daughter. She did research and found a hospital in Mexico that could save her life.
They gave me 10 years to live, so I was just researching the hospital, so I kind of want to go there because basically to get cured, hopefully.
To get to CHIPSA, Leslie needs over $30,000 US. She knows that this cost is high, but to save her life, that has no price. She has her GoFundMe page that you can look for and support her cause. And if you would like to follow her on her YouTube page, she uploads videos for people to follow her journey. For the Met Report, Yoselin Mesa Miranda.
NASA's asteroid tracker has reported an asteroid headed to our solar system that is large enough to end civilization if it hits Earth. The Center for Near-Earth Object Studies in California has been tracking the asteroid, which they estimate to be around 2.5 miles in diameter. The asteroid is traveling at around 19,461 miles per hour. At this speed, if the asteroid hit Earth, its impact would be enough to destroy most human life. NASA said the space rock will make a nearby methodology to Earth, but will miss our planet by roughly 3 million miles. The Planetary Society says that any debris greater than half a kilometer has the potential to cause worldwide destruction. The asteroid is, however, set to pass Earth on April 29th.
On February 26th, the Arise Music Festival team announced that they will no longer be hosted at Sunrise Ranch in Loveland. The future of the popular festival is now in the hands of the Larimer County Commissioners Board. According to Arise producer Luck Comer, the festival submitted a special events permit to use 200 acres off Highway 80, but the Larimer County Sheriff's Office is concerned about the traffic the festival will cause, especially since the Larimer County Fair is the same weekend. The application decision will be made on Larimer County Commissioners on March 9th at a land use hearing.
Do you park on campus? Well, there will be some changes coming to your parking starting as early as this summer. According to the Metropolitan's James Berkey, the Rary Higher Education Center, who sets parking prices, is increasing fees by 25 cents in summer 2020 and once again in 2021. The change comes after the Auraria Board agreed to a 3-year plan in 2017, which parking prices were set to increase 25 cents every summer up until 2021. The most expensive lots will be $7 a day to park, while the cheapest lots on campus will be $4 a day. AHEC made over $3 million in parking fees in 2019, and that number will continue to go up in the future.
As the weather warms up, severe weather season begins. Early Tuesday morning, a storm that produced 4 tornadoes hit downtown Nashville. The tornadoes killed 25 people and knocked out power for thousands more as it continued its trek east. The timing of the storm took many by surprise. Nocturnal tornadoes result in 1/3 of tornado deaths, despite making up only 27% of all tornadoes. This storm is another reminder of the upcoming severe weather season that comes with the warmer spring temperatures.
While many students are focused on the 2020 primary election, MSU Denver Student Government Assembly is having their own race for president. I spoke with one of the SGA candidates to get insight on her plans for MSU's future.
I ended up being a write-in vote from students on campus, and so I took the senator position. And from what I understand, like asking people like why they wrote me in was because like they saw my leadership skills and they saw my involvement like with different organizations on campus. I am really running like a campaign on inclusion, and I know like at Metro we throw inclusion and diversity around like all the time, like, oh, what's Metro? Diverse and inclusive. But I'm really like also about equity, and I'm approaching inclusion in a different way. When it comes also to inclusivity and like diversity, I am able to work with administrators and work with different people, like, you know, just like the different higher ups to be that student voice. There's so many challenges being first gen. I know specifically for me, like struggling with imposter syndrome and like this, and having to find like my individuality was like really difficult because I grew up in a household where we had like these very traditional like old school values, and so like having to leave that and come to find like my own like individual self was really difficult. In an SGA, like in a student government standpoint, I really see myself being like that student leader as like the student government president, because I really want SGA to move forward in a positive direction, and so like I really want to leave SGA with like a solid foundation.
So it is springtime, temperatures are warming up. Nancy's here to tell us about the weather this week. We saw some tornadoes in Nashville earlier in the week, but we're not going to see anything quite like that, hopefully.
No, guys, let me tell you that there is going to be some really sunny days ahead of us. So if we take a look at our national radar, we can see that the mid-Atlantic region right now is currently seeing some storms. Cities like Washington, D.C. and New York are seeing some heavy rainfall, but this storm will slowly move into the Atlantic Ocean. If we take a look at our national radar, we can see that the west side of our country, they're seeing a bit sight of clouds, but this will move as well and they will be seeing better temperatures. Taking a look at our state radar, we can see that right now we have clear skies over the Denver metro area. Our current conditions, it's 65 with winds coming out of the northwest at 6 miles per hour. For our day planner, at noon we'll be seeing a temperature of 68 degrees. At 4 p.m. we'll be seeing 65, a very sunny day. And by dinner time at 8, we'll be seeing a temperature of 48 degrees with clear skies. Today's high will be 68, sunny day, winds out of the south-southeast at 5 miles per hour. And coming up, we have a very sunny weekend ahead, warm temperatures for our work week, and of course the 7-day forecast.
Coronavirus is impacting all aspects of everyday life, including the stock market.
Women's History Month makes its mark in March.
From diamondback to horseback, one MLB pitcher is moonlighting as a rodeo champion. story. Thank you for staying with us. Pop icon Katy Perry had a special guest in her new music video, leaving Katy cats everywhere blooming with excitement. Katy's ultimate pregnancy reveal at the end of her latest music video, Never Worn White, was a curveball we never knew we needed. The exciting news dropped last Wednesday and was confirmed by her label Capitol Music. Soon after the surprise, the singer took to Instagram saying it was the longest secret she ever had to keep. Opening up about the news, Katy explained that the reveal to her family wasn't ideal. Katy's mom spoiled the surprise by putting the news on a wine bottle and giving it to people, not giving the couple a chance to announce the big news. But no matter how the news may have been brought out of the dark, Katy is on cloud 9, finally living her teenage dream.
Nearly 2 decades after mobile phones have become mainstream, the 5th generation of cellular networks has joined the fray in Denver. 5G has become crucial to the new generation of cellular networks. Starting this week, AT&T customers will be able to utilize the faster speeds, increased reliability, and decreased latency periods that 5G provides. According to CNN, 5G users have the capability to download videos in less than 15 seconds. With AT&T's inclusion in the 5G race, almost all Denver residents will be able to use this new technology.
iPhone users may be entitled to compensation. If you own an iPhone 6, 6S, or 7, Apple might owe you some money. According to a new Bloomberg report, Apple may have been implemented setting to slow down phones as they age. This move by the company for consumers to purchase newer models, called acceleration, could cost Apple up to $500 million in a proposed class action settlement. According to the report, such settlement would be required Apple to pay consumers $25 per phone, an amount that could be adjusted depending on how many iPhones per person are eligible.
After Pope Francis canceled his participation in a Lent retreat, many speculated that he might be infected with the novel coronavirus, since Italy had a vicious outbreak. However, this week the Pope tested negative for coronavirus. The coronavirus has caused an international emergency, and in just 2 months, almost 90,000 cases have been confirmed and more than 3,000 deaths have been recorded. Because of the severity, Catholic parishioners soon showed their concern towards the Pope, but according to Italian media, he is just suffering from a common cold. The Supreme Pontiff had part of his lung removed due to disease decades ago, which makes him more vulnerable to illnesses like the cold.
In March, women reflect on their struggles through history, their fight for equality and accomplishments. Chantal Galindo has more on how Women's History Month empowers women.
Since March is Women's History Month, I wanted to go around campus and see what empowers women. Tavia discussed the meaning and importance of Women's History Month to her.
As we do have a history of male dominance and the typical gender roles where women are supposed to stay at home and take care of the children and the house and whatnot. The women who have come before us, who have made it possible for us to do things like vote or go to work or be able to live without being dependent on a man, is really important, because decades ago it wouldn't have been possible.
Sarah Naomi describes what it means to be a woman to her.
Some of the ways that I've been socialized tell me that being a woman means being nurturing first to others. But then as I've grown, I have come to believe that being a woman means having a lot of intuition about how to be nurturing, but also that it could be problematic if you're not nurturing yourself first.
I also asked if there are any women that empower them.
My grandma and my aunt, they both work really hard to take care of our family.
So one of them is Beverly Grant, and she is a food activist. And then the other person is Lakshmi, who is my yoga teacher, who started a teacher training for people of color here in the city of Denver.
With the Met Report, Chantal Galindo.
Thank Thank you for staying with us. This is student meteorologist Nancy Esquivel. Taking a look at our national temperatures, San Francisco sitting at 58 degrees, LA at 65. Taking a look at Chicago, they are the state with the coldest temperature, 39 degrees. New York 43, but here back in Denver, we are sitting at a temperature of 65 degrees. Taking a look at our statewide temperatures, Aspen sits at 49, Gunnison at 36, Alamosa 58. While the Eastern Plains, we have Burlington at 69, Lamar at 75, La Junta at 72, and DIA is at 65 degrees. For our forecast, as we can see right now, we're going to have a bit of cloud coverage moving into Saturday, but around 3 o'clock tomorrow afternoon, we will be seeing again those clearer skies down south. We could see a bit of snow. Moving up into Sunday morning, we are going to have more activity on the mountain side of our state. We're going to have a slight cloud coverage over our city, but this will slowly move away. By Sunday morning, your commute should be pretty clear. Tonight's low temperatures will descend to 38 degrees, partly cloudy with winds coming out of the southwest at 9 miles per hour. Tomorrow, we're going to have a beautiful day sitting at 70 degrees, mostly sunny, and winds coming out of the south at 9 miles per hour. Now, don't forget to move your clocks an hour ahead Saturday before you go to bed. We will be losing an hour of sleep. However, the sunset will be around 7, so we'll get to enjoy more of those beautiful Colorado sunsets. Taking a look at your 7-day forecast, again tomorrow we're going to have a high around the 70, a sunny day, low of 41. On Sunday, high of 64, low of 38. The beginning of our work week. On Monday, we have a 10% chance of precipitation with a high of 60, a low of 36, and then Tuesday's looking about the same with a high of 63 and minimum of 37. Don't go anywhere because after the commercials, we have sports with Isaac Bugarin.
Thanks for staying with us. My name is Brenden Giliss, and I'm here to bring you the biggest news in politics today. The results of Super Tuesday have shaken up the battlefield for the Democratic nomination, and big names have dropped out as a result. It was a disappointing finish on Tuesday for billionaire Mike Bloomberg, who announced the suspension of his campaign the next day. Bloomberg was unable to gather momentum after weeks of big spending, failing to win any states. Bloomberg delivered the message to his supporters on Wednesday.
If you remember, I entered the race for president to defeat Donald Trump. And today, I am leaving the race for the same reason, to defeat Donald Trump, because staying in would make it more difficult to achieve that goal.
Senator Elizabeth Warren also found herself in a tough spot when she was unable to win her home state of Massachusetts. After reassessing the viability of her campaign, she made the difficult decision to drop out. Here's what she had to say on the matter.
I have no regrets at all. This has been the honor of a lifetime. 10 years ago, I was teaching a few blocks from here and talking about what was broken in America and ideas for how to fix it. And pretty much nobody wanted to hear it. And I've had a chance to get out there and talk with millions of people. And we have ideas now that we talk about that we just weren't talking about even a year ago. A 2-cent wealth tax and universal child care that could be real. We could make it happen. And canceling student loan debt for 43 million Americans and raising Social Security payments. Those are life-changing events for people. And we can actually do this. So I'm delighted to have been here and honored to have had this chance.
I will not walk away from the most important political fight of my life, and I hope you won't walk away either.
The coronavirus outbreak is affecting more than just health. It's also having a serious effect on the global economy. Last Thursday, the Dow Jones finished at 1,200 points, or over 12% below its opening, while the S&P 500 dropped by 13% throughout last week, amplifying the financial consequences of the market's worst week since the 2008 recession. Outside of America, similar drops were observed in Britain's FTSE 100, which had a drop last week of 11%. At the same time, Japan's Nikkei 225 dropped 10%. Each market is beginning to enter a corrective phase, but as the coronavirus shows no signs of relenting and fear continues to mount, there is a chance that markets worldwide will continue their sharp downward trend. Another aspect of American life the coronavirus is shaping is the political turmoil between Trump and the Democratic Party. Trump commented on the debacle during a rally in South Carolina.
Now the Democrats are politicizing the coronavirus. You know that, right? Coronavirus. They're politicizing it. And this is their new hoax. But we did something that's been pretty amazing. Our country is doing so great. We are so unified. We are so unified.
Trump took to Twitter to lament his treatment by Democrats and mainstream media, calling the coverage a way to, quote, stoke a national coronavirus panic. Trump's use of the word hoax sparked outcry from Democrats, who believe he is underrepresenting the threat of the virus in order to stimulate the economy during the election year. Democrats are accused of fear-mongering about the virus's presence in America. One thing that's clear is that cohesiveness in Washington will be key to containing the virus. That's all from me today. Thanks for tuning into the Met Report. I'll see you around.
bring you the latest update in the sports world, so let's hit the basketball court. As the Nuggets begin their stretch run, one X factor is anticipated to have a larger role in determining their fate. After dealing with injuries that shortened his career in high school and college, Michael Porter Jr., the rookie from Missouri, is finally getting an opportunity. After missing all of last year recovering from a back injury, the young forward has fought his way into the rotation for the Denver Nuggets. Projected as a top 3 pick prior to the injury, this season has acted as a redemption of sorts for the youngster. With the Nuggets sitting near the top of the Western Conference, Porter could be the push the Nuggets need to get them over the edge and compete for their first championship. With the 2020 Olympics approaching, we analyze potential impacts caused by the coronavirus. With the 2020 edition of the Summer Olympics residing in Tokyo, the International Olympic Committee has to prepare for potential impacts from the coronavirus outbreak. With sports leagues in Italy already conducting all events until April with no crowd, there is speculation that the Olympics may be delayed or even canceled. As of now, the IOC does not anticipate any delays to the Games. If the Games are delayed and a makeup date in 2020 cannot be found, the Olympics may be canceled. More details are expected as we draw closer to the opening ceremony. One of the most dominant playoff pitchers in MLB history is living a double life. I got a chance to take a look at other athletes who assume another identity. Check it out.
The sports era of the 80s was dominated by multi-sport athletes, such as Bo Jackson, who played football and baseball.
Unconventional is a fitting description of Bo Jackson, who burst onto the baseball scene in 1986.
Michael Jordan played basketball and baseball.
The star of the day, the world's greatest basketball player, trying to make it in a major league.
And Deion Sanders, who also played football and baseball.
The throw to the plate gets on by, Sanders flies over, and now he is safe and home.
Fast forward to 33 years later, and it turns out that MLB star and World Series MVP Madison Bumgarner has a secret alias, Mason Saunders. Bumgarner has been a multi-sport athlete since he was young, playing both baseball and also competing in rodeo events. In the offseason, Bumgarner competed in team roping events and won just north of $26,000. Nothing has stopped him from competing in rodeo until his recent contract with the Arizona Diamondbacks, where he had to put his rodeo life on hold. Multi-sport athletes have been around for years regardless of the sports that those athletes compete in. This one just happens to be a niche sport which tends to make nice money. From the Met Report, Isaac Bugarin.
That story was one of my favorites because it included 2 of my all-time favorite things, baseball players and cowboys. Am I right?
Yes, Yekta, you're definitely right.
Another thing people...
Another thing we love your sunset.
Exactly, is sunset. And unfortunately, you will lose an hour of sleep this weekend due to daylight saving time. So don't forget to set your clocks back before you go to bed Saturday night. But the sunset will move from about 6 p.m. to 7 p.m. starting on Sunday. So it should be an absolutely gorgeous week.
Yeah, so tomorrow we should be hitting 70 degrees. So Geoffrey, what are you going to do?
Personally, I'll probably just take my dogs out to the dog park and just enjoy the day for once, finally.
Finally have spring temperatures.
Finally.
I'm so ready for it.
I'm ready too. I'm going to the Rapids game on Saturday, and it's supposed to be 70 degrees, beautiful night. So, all right, that's all the time that we have for today. We hope you enjoyed this episode. You can watch this every Friday on Campus Channel 20 and Comcast Channel 58.
And make sure to check us out on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and on mymetmedia.com. Thanks for tuning in. Great day.